Hello and welcome there to the Nation Jendela. I am Jessie Chahel, joining you in this episode as I speak to Jasmine Lee, Chief Marketing Officer of U Mobile. Today's topic, unleashing unlimited potential with digital connectivity, and that's what Jendela is providing. It is the National Digital Infrastructure Blueprint or Plan, and it is really getting together telcos in the country as well to roll out this mega plan that in the next 5 years will have us be a digitalized Malaysia. Jasmine, welcome to the Nation Jendela. That's Jendela J, Jasmine J, and Jessie J, triple J there. Let's talk a little bit about the last year and this year, of course, a global crisis. Yeah. It really has pushed to the forefront the importance of having good connection, having equipment or devices. In fact, Malaysia really recently launched this particular project, My Digital, and that is aimed at driving the country towards a robust digital economy alongside gig economy and all of that. Where does U Mobile come in this bigger picture, and what role is U Mobile playing in the bigger picture of digital service in the country?
So thank you, Jessie, for having me on the program. For U Mobile, our ethos has always been to unleash the unlimited potential of every one of our customers and subscribers. And of course, we do this through making connectivity and good quality connectivity accessible and affordable for everybody. So we've been in the forefront of breaking that accessible and digital divide and closing the digital divide for Malaysians. So we were the first to launch an unlimited plan. We were the first to give away 1 GB free every day for customers. Yep. So this is a big change when U Mobile came into the market.
That was across the board for all telcos as well?
No, when we started, we were the first to do the unlimited a few years ago. So we break that affordability factor for Malaysians. So when the pandemic hit, it was quite timely that at that time we also had unlimited plans, so it really helped Malaysians to be able to afford connectivity at that time, especially the youth, and everybody else need to work from home and study from home. So within the Jendela aspirations, we are, of course, a big part of it helps to organize the whole industry to be able to achieve this digitization of Malaysians and to close the digital divide. And the pandemic has been a wake-up call for us to do it faster and do it in a more efficient manner as an industry. So of course, U Mobile is a big supporter of the visions of Jendela, also My Digital. So along the way, in the past 2 years, we have also, other than upgrading our network, we have also improved a lot of our digital services and things that can help consumers access digital content, as well as businesses digitize much faster. So we have successfully expanded our network in the last few years to 7,400 4G sites, and we even during the pandemic and the last few months of last year, we managed to even expand to very rural areas like Sabah and Kelantan. So these are some of our efforts that we're doing.
Right. Just because my next question was going to be, what are some of the recent things that U Mobile has really done? But you say your brand values aligned to two things: being a disruptor, as well as providing value for these services. So what is U Mobile bringing to the table at this point of time, perhaps even planned in 2021? With regards to recent initiatives?
So we always look at the underserved. So both from a services point of view as well as a connectivity point of view, and how can the people afford it much better. So our entry level are all below 50 ringgit for monthly plans for data, and this is unlimited data connectivity. We have launched a few digital services that will help to digitize people. We noticed that during the pandemic, a lot of people are doing business on their own, and they need payment channels that are digital to be able to collect payments and to do delivery and so on. So We have also launched our own e-wallet and acquiring services. So we enable SMEs, even the mom and pop shop or people who are doing their own business, to be able to accept payments through credit card. So that includes e-commerce as well. So we have also recently going to launch our mobile broadband service, which will add on to the connectivity at home if they are working or studying from home. So these are some of the initiatives that we are doing.
Right. When we talk about the National Digital Infrastructure Plan, Jendela, we're looking at also providing a solid foundation for service, for network, and this all rolls into the bigger picture. What role has Jendela played in U Mobile's overall network strategy in helping to push forward U Mobile's personal agenda?
Okay, so from U Mobile's point of view, we have always want to serve wherever you work, play and stay. So we make sure that connectivity is there for places where you work, play and stay. So it has always been our plan. So when Jendela came in, it adds on a different dimension on the national level to make it easier for our expansion plans as well. So it fits just nicely. Either U Mobile fit into Jendela or Jendela fits nicely into our aspirations. So we see it as more of a catalyst for us to go faster. So in the world of network expansion, it's not just the telcos work alone. We need the help of a lot of the third parties. We always face some kind of difficulties in the expansion when it comes to city councils, tower builders, subcontractors. So those are extremely important to work together. So when we have a national agenda like Jendela, it does help in speeding up the efficiency.
That's right, and we will see all of that be achieved in just a few years. In fact, it's just only been under a year, and already there's so many milestones met. We're talking about the National Digital Infrastructure Plan, Jendela, and U Mobile's contribution and involvement towards building a future network. We take a quick break. When we come back, more right here on the Jendela Nation.
Muthu is a senior citizen living in the suburbs. At home, he spends a lot of time online connecting with his grandchildren who live in the city. When Muthu goes downstairs to get a recipe from his wife, the internet access is disrupted and his video call is cut off. Introducing Jendela, a government initiative to improve Malaysia's communications infrastructure and broadband coverage. This move will reduce the digital divide and enable cities, suburbs and rural areas to receive better quality broadband services. Jendela will be rolled out in phases and will involve the improvement, expansion and connectivity of high-speed coverage. This will ensure widespread coverage and connectivity nationwide. Malaysians will be able to access high-speed fixed and mobile broadband throughout the country. Additionally, all fibre service providers will continue to lend their support by upgrading their network capacity and deploying more base stations to meet the increase in 4G and 5G traffic. This will pave the way for future technology adoptions such as wireless and fixed wireless access and 5G to achieve the country's digital agenda. With Jendela increasing the reach of fibre optic services, Muthu can upgrade his internet services and get the latest internet hardware such as mesh Wi-Fi. He will be able to surf the internet anywhere in his house without any service disruption. This digital transformation will raise the people's economic status and advance the country's socio-economic progress.
Thanks for joining us once again right here on the Nation Jendela. I'm speaking to Jasmine Lee, Chief Marketing Officer of U Mobile. We're talking about unleashing unlimited potential with digital connectivity in conjunction, of course, with the rollout of Jendela. It's a 5-year plan. It is underway now, and organizations like U Mobile are all part of this efforts towards bringing or building a future network for the nation. Perhaps we can talk a little bit about the 3G sunset. yet, because
Yeah.
5G is impending, it's on the
Yeah.
way, and although we are not fully maximizing 5G at this point yet, it is the way to go, it is the future. But that means we have to leave 3G behind.
Yes. So the 3G sunset is part of the roadmap of Jendela as well. So the whole focus for the last 2 years is building the 4G network to make sure we have enough 4G coverage for people to have a better experience. So when 3G sunsets, the replacement is actually 4G first, to make sure that people let go of older technology to be able to experience better on 4G. So
Is that not a seamless transition?
it is not so seamless because a lot of people still have 3G handsets which may not work on the 4G handset, so in the 4G network. So the other thing is there are a lot of 4G handsets as well, devices that does not work, does not have the voice over LTE function. So if you don't have a 3G network, you may not be able to make a call. So it's good to tell the people now, if you have a 4G device, please make sure that it's a voice over LTE device, so that you can get the best experience on 4G networks. So voice over LTE is also known as VoLTE, VoLTE. So make sure that you have that. So when 3G is shut off, we can also refarm the 3G spectrum over to 4G. So spectrum is like money in the telco world. So if just like this TV station, it runs on a certain frequency, and we also run on certain frequency. So we must make sure that we have enough spectrum to give better experience. So when we sunset 3G, all can be moved to 4G, then everyone will have better experience.
But this will also encompass phasing out the phones or whichever
Correct.
devices
Correct.
that are only working on 3G at this
So
point.
for now, MCMC have already, for all devices that come into Malaysia, they make sure that it's certified by MCMC. So we make sure that the things that are brought into Malaysia or sold in Malaysia are 4G enabled.
So this will also mean with whatever sales U Mobile has,
Yes.
you would also have to
Yes.
take part in not putting out
3G devices. Already. So I
any
think
longer.
all operators have stopped selling 3G devices. On top of that, I think what we are doing is also helping people own devices easier. So we have 99 cents phone for our own subscribers to be able to upgrade to 4G devices.
99 cents.
Yeah.
We'll talk a bit about that later. Now, what industry, or rather, what is the industry and U Mobile doing overall in terms of really trying to, as we mentioned, if it's not that seamless, what's everyone doing together to ensure that the phase out happens in a natural manner?
So since last year, we have already started this exercise. I think together with MCMC, we have reported monthly to MCMC on what is the 3G base now. And all our efforts to try to reduce the 3G base and to move them to 4G. So devices are the easiest.
Yep.
So all operators have been doing this. Please upgrade your device, and we give free devices, 99 cents device, to be able to upgrade people to 4G. So all this effort has been happening since last year.
How has the take-up been?
It's good because the frequency of change in terms of handset is around 18 months for Malaysians. And because of the pandemic, it also helped because a lot of people needed to get new devices and tablets, so we make it easier for them. So since May last year, all these efforts have been starting. So we are pretty confident by end of the year, when we shut off 3G, we should be able to convert most of our subscribers over already.
So it should be a task that would be
Yes.
easily met
Yes.
for what it's worth.
On top of that, the industry also have been aggressively expanding their 4G coverage. In U Mobile alone, the last 2 years, I mentioned, we have now 7,400 4G coverage to make sure that our 4G towers are built and we have enough covering the nation.
So what would you say, basically, how has the pandemic affected U Mobile's network strategy? Because whilst for us people, we've had to upgrade our devices, we needed to perhaps buy new devices or equipment, I'm sure for U Mobile as a service provider, you also had to ensure that there was a clearer and perhaps more aggressive strategy.
So when we talk about Jendela, it is also to make sure that you have accessibility everywhere to connectivity. So when the pandemic happened, it was a shock to all operators worldwide, not only U Mobile. But within U Mobile, I think what we did very well was change very quickly and optimize our network very quickly. So when it happened, all our networks were congested. And how the networks are built are always for mobility. So mobility means you're outside all the time, you're in train stations, bus stations, malls, in offices. But because of the MCO 1.0 at that time, everyone was at home, and our capacity for housing areas was not there.
Let's just take a look at this slide once again that's just come up
Yes.
on the TV screen. It had some stats, 127.8% increase in upload speed in over the span of 2 years.
Yes, so what we have done is quickly change the capacity to focus on areas where people work and play and stay now and learn. So in the last 2 years, since the pandemic happened, we have managed to switch it around. So in September, we were already like double our speed from even before MCO 1.0. So this MCO also we have managed it really well. So I think U Mobile have gotten recognition through OpenSignal for being the most improved operator in Asia Pacific, not only in Malaysia, for upload, download and streaming speed. So we're quite proud of how our network has worked out.
And based on that signal, it's now time to pause while we take a quick break. When we come back, more right here on the Jendela Nation with Jasmine Lee, Chief Marketing Officer of U Mobile.
Meili is a university student in Kuala Lumpur. She needs to visit her grandmother in her hometown next week. However, Meili has an exam scheduled at the same time. She plans to revise her lessons during the trip through online learning via video. Meili is worried about unstable internet access while traveling. Introducing Jendela, a government initiative to improve Malaysia's communications infrastructure and 4G coverage. This move will reduce the digital divide and enable cities, suburbs and rural areas to receive better quality broadband services. Jendela will be rolled out in phases. The 3G network will be gradually terminated as the 4G network is expanded to give Malaysians access to high-speed mobile lines throughout the country. With Jendela, people like Meili can enjoy uninterrupted online services all the way back to her hometown. This digital transformation will raise the people's economic status and advance the country's socio-economic progress.
Welcome back to the Nation Jendela. I'm Jessie Chahal. I'm speaking to Jasmine Lee, Chief Marketing Officer of U Mobile. We're talking, of course, about the National Digital Infrastructure Plan and of unleashing unlimited potential with digital connectivity, and that is the promise that Jendela brings to the table. Jasmine, before the break, we did talk about 3G, phasing out 3G or the sunset of that technology, as well as 4G. But what about 5G, and what are U Mobile's achievements so far in that field?
Okay, I think everyone is very excited about 5G. Malaysians have been asking us, when are you launching 5G? So the government has also announced recently through My Digital that they are going to make 5G live at the end of the year. So all the operators have been working on this initiative. Prior to that, we have already done a few 5G trials from consumer services to manufacturing. We did a factory 5G trial as well as medical telemedicine. So 5G's benefit is really in industry. In changing how we work and creating productivity and efficiency in a mass scale. So this is really more suitable for manufacturing, agriculture and so on. It's really not so much for consumers yet, because you can't watch a video any faster than what you do now. And maybe it's better for gaming in terms of latency, but it's still very much on the entertainment side of application. So we have not seen a lot of more productivity kind of application for consumers. So, but saying that, we are working with the government to work out what are the areas where we can focus on in launching 5G. So that will be our work together with MCMC.
So in terms
this
of
year.
5G, then what can Malaysians look forward to, especially with the Jendela plan?
I think more now is upgrade to your 4G first.
Okay.
Do everything on 4G, get your connectivity and experience better. 5G devices are already available, so when the network is ready, 5G devices will be able to experience faster speed and lower latency.
But if you could paint a picture for us, what will the implementation of Jendela coupled with 5G, what will that allow Malaysians to do? Yeah.
So currently for Jendela is quite focused on end consumers getting connectivity and closing the digital divide. So that is the basis of 5G. So before 5G comes, we must make sure that everyone experience good connectivity, and then they can start creating, innovating, and creating an industrial revolution for 5G. So you will see more explosion of maybe startups and enterprises that are focusing on creating applications and platforms for 5G. So we are quite excited to see that next, after the .com revolution, we are quite excited to see this 5G coming in for Malaysians. So it will spark a lot of new ideas and new businesses.
While all this is exciting as it is, my concern is what is being done to really reach out to the B40 segment so that they can participate and be part of the grand plan.
Okay, that is a very, very good question, and part of Jendela is also to make sure that the B40 are reached and to make sure that they have connectivity. So during the COVID also, the government has put in quite a lot of initiatives together with the industry to make sure that we give really affordable plans to B40. So a few things that has happened, we have launched a package for students, 20 ringgit with 15 GB for SPM, STPM and higher learning institution students. We have given 1 GB free every day to people who registers and are in need of connectivity daily. And we have also launched a few free Wi-Fi projects in I think 12 project Perumahan Rakyat to have free connectivity to the people. So I think coming soon, the government is going to announce more initiatives coming up from April onwards. So look out for that. The other thing that we are doing, we are now as an industry launching this thing called My Baik Hati, where we are crowdsourcing tablets and devices from corporates and also individuals. So the old tablets and devices that you don't want, you can bring it to our centres. We will refurbish them and the government will distribute them to the B40
That's a wonderful plan.
Yeah.
In a nutshell, what are some of the industry's plan for 2021?
Other than still continuing the expansion for Jendela and your 4G coverage, 2021's excitement is really a lot about 5G and also the My Digital initiatives. So a lot of things that U Mobile is doing is building services on top of connectivity to enable people to digitize themselves. So we do see a lot of people now very enterprising. They are starting their own business. So U Mobile has just launched a U Mobile Biz Pro to enable a credit card terminal with your connectivity, so that traders, petty traders, as well as people in multi-level marketing or doing e-commerce can be able to accept digital payments. So we are trying to digitize people through connectivity. On top of that, we are just also launching things like mobile broadband for as low as 48 ringgit with unlimited plans for you to be able to learn and work at home. So we do see that need now for more connectivity, more bandwidth, and we have just invested in expanding all that capacity and coverage.
That's right. With all this excitement ahead of us, we've actually lost a little bit of time because we have run out of time.
Okay.
But what would you say is your message to Malaysians?
Take advantage of what the government is doing now. Please keep an eye on things that are happening and being announced, and so that you can have access to all the help that the government is giving out. So I think as an industry, and together with MCMC and the government, we are really putting in quite a lot of investment to help out Malaysians to be able to afford connectivity, and also look out for what is good for you in terms of what do you use it for, and don't watch TikTok and YouTube all the time. Please do some productivity manners.
That's good message.
Okay.
That's a good message to remind. I'm guilty of some TikTok to some extent as well. Nonetheless, a good balance, a bit of this, a bit of that. But the network is there for productivity, for efficiency,
for learning,
and for learning most importantly. Well, thank you so much, Jasmine, for coming in and of course sharing U Mobile's plan in conjunction with the Jendela rollout as well. Jasmine Lee, Chief Marketing Officer of U Mobile, and me, Jessie Chahal, signing off on this edition of The Nation Jendela, talking about the future, about building a future network and unleashing unlimited potential with digital connectivity. Malaysia Jendela plan is underway and it is for you. We'll see you next time. Take care and stay safe. Bye-bye.
I'm Dr. Fadlullah Suhaimi Abdul Malik, Chairman of MCMC. For the latest on the National Digital Network Plan, watch The Nation Jendela every Thursday only on BERNAMA TV.